Yeah, morning, guys. I guess morning peeps. Let's say morning peeps. How are you doing today? How is everybody doing? Let's put on some background beats. What do we feel like today? Chill, down tempo, lounge. Let's listen to some lounge. Alrighty. Take a moment while we get warmed up here and enjoy my coffee. Coming at you today, dropping a dookie on world news. Making a bit of a shift in how I'm approaching some of this content creation on a regular basis. If you wish to join me on today's show, link is down below in the description. We got the Restream link where you could join me live, or you can watch Twitch, YouTube, Vim, Trovo, list goes on. It's all out there. Thank you for joining me. As you can see on screen, chat is pumping through, so if you chat in, I will for sure see it for you. So today, with Morning Brew, we got green markets accept Bitcoin, leaders channeling Mad Max at COP26, Coke says later Gatorade, and new flu, it's a pandemic after all. Redlight on meme coins. Then I'm adding a little bit to this news report for the local peeps. Capital Daily, Victoria, BC, local news for you guys. Where have all the mushrooms gone? And then Victoria Council approves 158 units of affordable housing. But before we get to any of that, I've got a shout out and some positive vibes. And at the end of it all, a little bit of a secret giveaway, maybe? So if you stay tuned till the end, or happen to skip to the end, you'll get your giveaway, or how to be involved in it anyways. So the shout out today, you know who you are, but I'm going to tell you this time. Boba Fett on the Hive blockchain, he's one of our info warriors. He's a long-standing creator on Steam, DTube, Hive. He's also active on Libri, Odyssey as it's known to most. He's info warrior and philosopher, so always use your own judgment, as he says, but when you're trying to unveil the truth, there are many avenues you have to go down in the process. So I appreciate the work that he does, and thing to note is he has one of those minds that just remembers everything. So if you want to collaborate with someone and work on an end goal, he's kind of the guy to get on your side to help organize the entire thing. He has an overwhelming amount of resources for what's going on in Australia with the new flu and the oppression, and I'll leave it at that. You should follow up with him if that interests you at all. Now let's move into the positive vibes. Today, positive vibes, thinking about our futures. We're all stuck in this world, this crazy, chaotic world. Which way do I gotta move? That way? There, I'm center. And we could only really think about where we want to be into the future, how we can get there. So today I want to say, let's think about our futures. What will flourish from all this chaos? And one thing that I've noticed a lot of talk surrounding was universal basic income. Now, everybody has their opinion either direction, but in the case of trying to support people, those in need, I fundamentally believe that universal basic income is one of those things that will come into existence, and we will see how it empowers so many people after its existence, and likely it's to come through this most recent movement we have in decentralization, in people taking back control and finding ways to empower the people instead of corporations. And that's the future I'm thinking about, is how as a people we're empowering ourselves versus looking to corporations to empower us. You know, I don't look to YouTube. I might be streaming to YouTube and Twitch and all these different places, but I'm not looking to YouTube for empowerment. I empower myself through my own activities on decentralized platforms. So I employ you to empower yourself through education and then imagining the future and building for it. So there you go. Let's think about our futures. What will come from all this chaos? Because it's up to us to build it. So that's it for today's positive note. Let's move on to some world news. How about? Starting with Morning Brew. I think this is the right one. Yep. Titled Expensive Juice. Don't forget, you guys could chat in. I see I got 2 streaming, 2 watching. Thank you very much for watching this morning. So I'm going to pound through this as quick as I can and keep my personal details a little bit to myself. November 2nd, Morning Brew together with Motley Fool. So the NASDAQ, we're showing up 0.63, S&P plus 0.18%, Dow 0.26 up, and the 10-year 0.2 BPS up, with Bitcoin down 0.89% and Russell 2000 at a 0, a flat. There we go. Markets, major indexes hit records again to kick off a busy week for the economy. With the Fed's tapering announcement expected tomorrow, we're earning reports rolling in. More earning reports rolling in, pardon. And the October jobs report landing on Friday. The small cap Russell 2000 had its best day since late August. So that's a best day, whatever that means. Politics. Today is election day. So if you're in an area with a contest, then make sure you play hooky from work and go vote. Yeah. Today in climate, leaders channel Mad Max at COP26. This sounds kind of interesting. At the COP26 climate conference, world leaders warned that inaction on climate wouldn't just invite more hurricanes than we can name. It could literally topple governments. Wow. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, the host of the negotiations, said in a speech that people's anger would be uncontainable if leaders didn't tackle the problem. A few days ago, Johnson compared the climate threat to the decline and fall of the Roman Empire. That's pretty bold statement right there. Wow. Okay. Focus. Hot temps equals hotter tempers. Governments, especially in Europe, are concerned that the challenges of transitioning to a greener economy could spark a populist uprising of citizens, the NYT reports. For an example, look at what's happening in Europe's energy markets. As countries like the UK have phased out coal and a shift to renewables, they've become dependent on natural gas, but that has skyrocketed in price this fall. Spanish demonstrators took to the streets in September to protest spiraling electricity bills, leading the government to cap energy companies' profits to help out households. It's not all about rich countries. Lower income nations that face the more immediate threats of climate change, like rising sea levels and extreme heat, could become major sources of geopolitical instability, according to the reports from the White House, the Pentagon, and the U.S. intelligence agencies last month. Wow, all three. This is a major change in the thinking because up until now, the U.S. military has maintainedly viewed climate change in terms of let's make sure we're prepared for terrible weather. The new approach is more like climate change could spark wars, mass migration, and competition for dwindling resources that threaten global security. That's actually a more appropriate way to look at it. Looking ahead, doomsday predictions make great headlines, but they don't solve any problems. World leaders will depart the COP26 today after wrapping up their speeches, leaving other government officials to nail down the details of actual policies. Yeah, of course, leaving it up to others. One of those policies, India, the world's third largest emitter, said it would reach net zero emissions by 2070 in a surprise announcement. Go India. Yeah, go India. That's what I'll leave that on. Any notes you guys want to make, feel free to drop it in the chat. I will respond to you guys. I'm curious if it is all pumping through, so do help me test it. Now on to food and bev. Coke says later, Gatorade. Yeah. Coca-Cola made its biggest push yet to dethrone Pepsi's Gatorade as the sports drink king. The beverage giant agreed to buy the rest of Body Armor for $5.6 billion. Body Armor is valued at $8 billion. Expensive juice, so expensive that it's Coke's biggest brand acquisition in its history. What's Body Armor? Yeah, that's next headline. What's Body Armor? Literally. Founded in 2011 as a natural alternative to surgery sports drinks, the brand sold 15% stake to Coca-Cola in 2018. Naomi Osaka and the late Kobe Bryant both backed it, and the brand signed a multi-year deal with MLS in 2019. Wow. When combined with its Powerade products reach, the Body Armor deal would give Coke a 22% share of the U.S. sports drink market. Still, Gatorade owns 70% of that market. A huge chunk can be credited to Blue Frost hangover healing powers. Yeah, the hangover healer. Okay, so here you go, Body Armor and Coca-Cola. You got to figure out a hangover healer, and you'll take the market. So, zooming out, since he became Coke CEO in 2017, James Quincy set a path to become a total beverage company. Coke bought sparkling water brand Topo Chico in 2019, scooped up Costa Coffee in 2019, and took a stab at being Milk Guys when it bought lactose-free dairy brand Fairlife last year. Fun fact, Kobe nabbed a 10% stake in Body Armor in 2014, investing $6 million over time. His family will reportedly collect $400 million from the sale. That's more than Kobe made during his entire basketball career. Well, good for their family. Something good came out of that. All right. Today in the new flu, it's a pandemic, after all. I don't even really want to read this one, but here we go. On Sunday, Shanghai Disneyland closed for at least 2 days when a single weekend attendee tested positive for COVID after returning home. In a bizarre scene, nearly 34,000 guests at the theme park on Sunday lined up to get tested by people in hazmat suits before being forced to leave, even as Disney's famous fireworks display rumbled around them. God, I never thought that the longest queue in Disneyland would be for a nucleic acid test. One guest posted to social media. China continues to pursue a strategy of shutting down society when any hint of COVID outbreaks appear. Let's see. 2 strains were stopped literally in their tracks last week when a couple of crew members were discovered to have been in close contact with people who were infected. After finding one positive case Saturday, one county in Anhui province turned all of its traffic lights red to discourage people from driving. Wow. Just mass traffic jams in response? Holy. Okay. What the? Just take a moment. Think about that. Let's just think about that for a moment. Okay. One positive case and you lock down the city. Literally, if you turned all the lights red in Victoria, oh my god. Nobody would be driving, that's for sure. Bottom line, China's zero new flu policy is increasingly at odds with how other countries are approaching the new flu containment. Even lockdown happy negotiations like Australia and the New Zealand have abandoned their zero new flu strategy, arguing that the highly contagious Delta variant made it unworkable. That's interesting. Together with Motley Fool. If you're interested in what Motley Fool has to provide, they give you heads up on stocks, guys. Don't forget to click the link, subscribe to Morning Brew, and you'll get all the best details, including things like their grab bag, performance indicators. Please follow my link. I want some swag. If you haven't signed up for the Morning Brew, do so I could get some swag. The link is in the description down below. Thank you. You can get these details yourself. I'm going to jump ahead right into the final topic from Morning Brew. Today in crypto, we got Redlight on meme coins. This is something I've been kind of watching unfold and I haven't really gotten too involved with. The Squid Game cryptocurrency has a winner, and it's not your favorite character. After the token jumped 310,000% in less than 2 weeks. 310,000%. Think about that. You put in $1, you'd have $310,000 in 2 weeks. Its anonymous creators have liquidated their shares, making off with an estimated $2.1 million in an apparent scam. Yeah. No shit. The cryptocurrency called Squid was worth 0.012 last Tuesday. By Friday, the coin had skyrocketed in price and was widely covered in the media for its huge gains and unofficial tie to the widely popular Netflix series. The token's value peaked Sunday night at $2,861.80 before dropping 100% as of Monday to around half a cent. Yeah, so it started at a penny and it went to half a penny. Yeah, Squid popped onto the scene on October 20, purporting to be a pay-to-earn cryptocurrency for an upcoming online game based on Squid Game. But as Gizmodo points out, there were several red flags. Now, here's the points to note. The coin's website was filled with spelling and grammatical errors. There's red flag number 1 to watch out for, guys, is if you go to a website and it has any spelling, anything that doesn't seem to line up as professional, no. The Twitter account didn't allow replies to posts. That's a huge red flag, because if it's legit, you want your engagement. Even DTube, where we get grilled by some of our people, we allow free speech. So we're just Okay, grill us, so be it. Investors were unable to sell their coins. Now that's a huge red flag. Like, how is that even possible? They weren't distributed anywhere on a blockchain with an exchange or anything like that. So yeah, likely scam right from the get-go if you actually looked at it. Why take the risk? Have you watched the show? Meme coins like Dogecoin and Shiba Inu that went parabolic have made millionaires of early investors, but the Squid episode shows how these speculative investments can fall just as hard. Thank you, Morning Brew. Again, don't forget to subscribe to the Morning Brew. Link is in the description. You can get some of Brew's bits and all of their fun games at the bottom of their post there. Don't forget to chat in, guys. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. I'm going to take a little moment here and let my browser load the next bit of news from Capital Daily. I'm going to discuss for the Victoria locals. Love you guys. Where have all the mushrooms gone? And the Victoria Council approves 158 units of affordable housing. There was a third one in there that I made note to for Hillary. Hillary, I am going to throw in the third topic there about the RCMP misleading us. So I didn't make mention of that. I gapped on that until right this moment. So I haven't forgot about you. I made you a promise. There we go. Today, Capital Daily. Thank you very much for providing straight to my mailbox some news. If you want to get the details on that, subscribe yourself. I don't have a referral for this one. So I will just read right from the beginning. Good morning. Last Friday I wrote that I went on a rainy mushroom hunting walk. Well, surprise, I was foreshadowing. Today in the newsletter you could read more about that walk and the mysterious world of mushrooms, which author and naturalist Kem Luther told me we would know shockingly little about. Up to 90% of plants and trees have mycorrhizal relationships with fungi. Mycorrhizal relationships with fungi. I can't pronounce that word. If someone could tell me how to pronounce it. We hardly know anything about what occurs between them. Of the suspected 10,000 species of mushrooms in BC, we've only documented 32,000. There's a delightful amount yet to be discovered right below our feet. Zoe, West Shore reporter. Thank you, Zoe. And you can get that full read, but I will go into where have all the mushrooms gone. Did you know that there is a mushroom that smells like bubblegum and a bright orange fungi called witch's butter that oozes out of decomposing logs like a radioactive magical goo? There's a classical red and white toadstool mushroom, Amanita mascara, and your garden variety conch that grows shelves out of trees like nature's IKEA. Those are my favorite. Last week, West Shore reporter Zoe Ducklow walked through a rainy forest with two local mushroom experts and got a beginner's class in mycology. The reason for the excursion, we wanted to find out if there are fewer mushrooms about this year. Have you noticed the lack of chanterelles? And if so, why? Full read on Capital Daily. I do think it's a pretty good read. And it's an interesting topic, something I'm just learning about myself, how essentially through the fungi network and the roots, plants and trees communicate, and it's like a giant living network that in some some circles they believe is comparable to like a conscious living network, beyond what we can fathom as consciousness. For like the fungi can move towards resources and make decisions in that matter, and seems to learn and not make the same mistakes repetitively. Anyways, a very interesting topic. Well, moving into Victoria Council approves plans for 158 units of affordable and below market housing besides Vic High. The go-ahead for the Fernwood project arrived last week after 2 years of plans, changed plans, and debate. The Capital Region Housing Corporation currently operates affordable housing out of 18 townhouses and a 4-unit house. Those homes will be demolished and replaced with 2 apartments and 3 townhouse buildings. The people already living there have been rehoused and will have the option to move back when the Caledonia development is complete. 2 years ago, the city and school districts swapped parcels of land, which with additional consolidating of nearby properties made way for CRHC to redevelop the area with more affordable housing. On Thursday, Council voted to approve the rezoning application and issue the development permit. 2 years ago, of the 158 units, half will be income geared with rents not exceeding 30% of the occupant family's gross income. 1/5 will be subsidized for people on income assistance, and the rest will be below market rates. Vic High is still undergoing an $80 million renovation project, primarily to make the historic building seismically safe, but also to add an astronomy deck and an upgraded stadium. Well, that's cool. A little link here on analyzing Langford's Attainable Home Ownership Program. In case you're wanting to buy a home here in Victoria. That's it with today's Capital News. Capital Picks. This is where to get the best milkshakes. Seed and Stone. Registration is now open. Now, where was that last link? In other news, no woman's drowned. I know it was in here. There it is. In case you missed it, this one's for you, Hillary. RCMP gave misleading and false info about Fairy Creek pepper spray incident. Again with Capital Daily, investigation, RCMP mislead public about pepper spray incident at Fairy Creek. The RCMP said they had to pepper spray a crowd to evacuate an injured officer. An exhaustive review of the available evidence shows that was not true. This investigation is a joint project between Capital Daily and Ricochet. Alexander Curran was lying prone, face down in the dirt, with a cracked rib. He had been blinded by pepper spray and had an elbow driven into his face and knee into his back as his hands were zip-tied behind him. He could feel his backpack being cut off his arms. Moments earlier, Curran had been linking arms with the people next to him, protecting several protesters who were chained to a gate. When the person beside him was pulled down by police, he went down too, roughly, and the next thing he knew, he was dragged away from the crowd. Wow. Curran isn't the first peaceful protester to be injured at Fairy Creek, and the events of August 21st aren't unique. They're part of a pattern of police behavior that led a BC Supreme Court judge to describe some of RCMP's conduct as unlawful in an August ruling. Justice Thompson rebuked the force for disquieting lapses in reasonable crowd control, and found police had been responsible for a serious and substantial infringement of civil liberties, including impairment of the freedom of the press to a marked degree. Yeah, freedom of the press to a marked degree. Now a joint Capital Daily Ricochet investigation has established that virtually everything the RCMP told media about what happened on that Saturday morning was false. Well, good for you, Capital Daily. Good for you, Ricochet. Thank you very much. Yeah, I would like to get involved. An exhaustive review of more than 90 minutes of footage taken from 9 different angles, interviews with witnesses, and information from official sources has disproved many elements of the police force's narrative and cast serious doubt on others. It fits within a pattern, says Jane Gerster, journalist and author of Fourth Good of the Force, an upcoming book on the RCMP. Historically, they get away with misleading the media all the time. They've shaped public thinking on so many of their actions. The priority is their image, and it always has been. I can relate with that, actually. Officer down. Karan still doesn't know why he was pepper sprayed. When he saw the red canister, he was terrified. He had never experienced what people call OC spray before. Oh, we got crypto info. Welcome, crypto. Bring you in here, bruh. We're talking about a crazy little incident in Victoria, BC here. Karan was pepper sprayed. He's not quite sure why. He had never experienced what police call OC spray before, and though he knew it would be painful, he didn't know what he could do to protect himself. Alarmed, he saw that the crowd was pressing against the line of the police tape that had been arbitrarily strung up in front of him. The blob, as he calls the tightly packed crowd of protesters arranged in a series of concentric circles with arms linked, was intended to protect a particular group of immobilized protesters behind them, not move forward along the road or past the tape. They did want us to move back, but even then we were obeying by not crossing the line they put up, he says. Video shows that police were clearly ready to use the spray, but he says they didn't hear any warning. I didn't hear police say anything. After an eerily long wait, the pepper spray started, and Karan was blasted in the face along with dozens of others, some of whom had their masks ripped off by an officer so the spray could be directed straight into their mouths and noses. Whoa. The RCMP told that media in a press release and multiple interviews that the crowd had been pepper sprayed to allow an injured officer to be rescued from an aggressive throng of protesters. Just prior to the deployment of OC spray, a member was pushed and shoved, was knocked down, and actually struck their head and ended up becoming unconscious. And they had to be airlifted out of the area, Sergeant Christopher Manso, media relations officer for the RCMP, told Capital Daily when asked about the reasoning behind the use of force. Direction was given to the crowd to follow police direction to move out of the way. They did not follow that direction. OC spray was deployed and the protesters followed the direction, and that member could be removed from the area. That's the story the police are sticking with, and it's not true. Most notably, video footage shows that while an officer did fall, no protester appears to have made contact with him before or after he fell, and it was clear of the crowd and moving on under his own power within seconds. Yeah. In the moments after he stumbled, the crowd complied with police directions to back up. The officer was able to rejoin his colleagues and even participated in an arrest before walking away. At no point was vehicle access blocked by the protesters, and while BC Emergency Health Services confirmed that paramedics were called to treat protesters for exposure to pepper spray, no response was logged to any injuries to police officers. It wasn't until nearly 5 minutes after the officer tripped and fell that the police began to use pepper spray. 5 minutes after. At that point, the officer can be seen standing a safe distance behind them. My lord. If you want the full report, check it out on Capital Daily. Guys, a disproportionate response is quite accurate. As you can see, like, there's the shot of the one officer that fell, I guess. And he's like nowhere near the crowd from what you could tell. Now, how you doing today, Crypto Info? You got a mic for us? Crypto Info is gonna be quiet, I think. Only chat. Well, thanks for joining anyways, buddy. Glad to have you. Don't forget, anybody wants to join, link is in the description. Restream link, you can come on here and chat to me. I think that's basically it for today's news. Yeah, this ongoing Capital Daily thing with Fairy Creek, I'm probably going to try keep tabs on ongoing and review the Capital Daily morning brew each morning as I move forward. Yeah, really trying to focus on a bit of content creation. I enjoy doing it. And yeah, let's finish this off with the surprise giveaway. What is going on there? Giveaway? Have you been paying attention in the DTube Telegram, Crypto? There's a new guy that popped up, and he started bugging about marketing. So I'm trying to get some sponsorship going, and we're doing a bit of a comment hustle. So anybody that's tuning in, if you head to the DTube Telegram, you could get yourself 1 DTube for a comment. Super easy. Just go to the link, drop a comment, take a screenshot, drop the screenshot with your DTube username in the DTube Telegram. Takes all of about 2 minutes, a minute even, and you get yourself 1 DTube. Tomorrow at about this time, I'm probably going to be doing the roundup and distributing payouts. So yeah, 300 plus messages. Yeah, it was just pounding the chat. I'm enjoying it. That new guy, Khan. He seems like he could potentially get some activity going for our marketing, some responses. We're taking a bit of a different approach. Instead of like making a tweet and then trying to get everybody to respond to the tweet or whatever, we're going to try get people to target either creators, specifically commenting on the creator, asking them to join DTube, or going and, piggybacking off other projects' marketing efforts. So piggybacking off Odyssey, all of their videos that come up, and the creators that they sponsor, just commenting. People that read comments will be aware of DTube, and through that, we're also giving some of our users something to do and rewards to get started, because it's really hard to get those first couple DTube. And if you could just drop some comments, get a couple DTube, then you're on your way, right? You're starting to post, and you can comment, you could earn, and from there, the networking effect of people. Hopefully we could get people bringing in their friends. Hey man, you come in, drop a comment, get started. We could all be earning some DTube for simple little activities. That's where I'm at with that. Well, thank you very much for joining me today. Morning Brew and Capital Daily, dropping a dookie live on world news, coming at you from Victoria, British Columbia. Yeah, that's... highlight that one. Sign up page does need to be fixed. But this also helps. So if you can't do the verifications to get the free DTube, these little comment boosters is an easy way for you to get some DTube to get past those verifications. So just, if you have to, you can't get the verification to work, skip it. You can sign up without the verifications, and yeah, come into the DTube Telegram and join our comment hustle. Get yourself your first DTube. It's real simple. That'll get you going. Thank you for pointing that out, Crypto Info. Thank you for joining me. I think that's about it for today. Asking about using bots. Well, we're gonna have a little... You'll have to verify that it's you in some way eventually. We're starting off, if you could find, okay, at first we're just starting off. If you could find a post or a comment talking about DTube on the mentioned post, you can claim it as yours. So I left a comment on that post mentioned. So you don't even have to do the work there. There is one there. You guys can just go take a screenshot of my comment, bring it into Telegram, drop it with your DTube username. I will send you one DTube for the first person that claims that comment. Just as a little, to really, I just leave a comment and claim it. As long as it's not from some brand new account that has, is completely muted or whatever, right? I'm just having fun with it. I really don't care. I got 100 DTube a week to throw, so let's do it. Well, it's first come, first serve basis. So if you can find a comment, you can claim it as yours. If you make a comment, make sure you're the first person to claim it. Because if someone else beats you to it, well, you're SOL. Oh, I wish the D rocket showed up. That's an awesome little emoji we got. Someone's got to make that into a sticker for the DTube Telegram and the DTube Discord. That would be awesome. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to call it here. Don't forget to leave some engagement. And first real engagement comment on Hive will get 1 Hive basic income, seeing as we spoke about universal basic income. So drop me a legit comment and I'll sponsor you for 1 Hive. Dookie out.